XRP users, are we about to witness the biggest flip-flop in the history of the market? This comes after the biggest sell-offs or liquidations in the history of the crypto market, and maybe even the history of humanity. I don't know. Perhaps. Or if it's not the fastest, maybe the stock market has seen bigger liquidations in the form of margin calls, but I'm not sure. However, are we possibly getting ready for a huge short squeeze after this weekend? That's something we'll talk about, along with some ideas about what might have happened on that famous, well, you could call it Black Friday or Red Friday. As always, I just want to tell you that this video is only for fun. Always do your research before putting money into something. Because I don't know what will happen every day, I will never tell you to buy or hold the sell. I have no idea what will happen. Benjamin Cohen is the person we're going to talk about. I've talked about him a few times on the channel. Also, some of you have been very critical of him in the comments. He does a great job with this sell-off though. He's worth following or listening to, even if you don't agree with him. So, I try to give you a range of opinions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now and then, you may not agree with me. People will sometimes tell me I'm smart. Yes, you know that sometimes a little bit. But right now, the price of XRP is 237. Bitcoin is still pretty high at 111,000. With the price of Ethereum at $3,800, it is up 1.8%. Solana is up 2% in value. Doge is up 1%. In other words, the market is getting better, but not very quickly. We've had big sell-offs in the past. Yes, we have. Getting better quickly this time. The quick recovery's cash flow was taken out. Because of that, it might take a little longer than usual. But, in fact, shorts might get squished. Okay, from what we're hearing, the reason for the Trump declaration might be, and we'll get to that, linked to Trump's speech, but Trump said it wasn't the reason why everything sold. But China seems to be changing their mind about the new rules on exporting rare earths. China now says that the latest change does not put a full stop to exports. Applications that follow the rules will be accepted, ready to have more in-depth conversations, seek stability in the global industry and supply chain. Because export controls don't have much of an effect, this is a necessary defense measure. As an added bonus, China says it will take action if the US keeps raising taxes. On the other hand, let's say China tells you it will not back down on taxes. We don't want to go to war, but we're not scared of it either. On the one hand, you hear things that are peaceful. Then there was another hand. Pretty rough stuff. We see a lot of this coming from the US and China. And possibly, since there are a lot of shorts here, we could be seeing a little push in this direction. If it seems like I'm talking a little slowly, it's because I'm not fully ready yet. I still don't feel good. Now I understand. My brain is moving slowly, and my lungs are the main problem. So maybe we'll see where we can go from here, on Monday or Tuesday. I think we'll have a little more direction at that point, right? The selling has mostly stopped. However, the quick sell-off. Oh, again though, we need buying pressure for prices to rise quickly again. And a lot of that buying pressure has come from places with a lot of debt in the past. A lot of the money that was made by shorting could be used to buy stocks that are going up in price. That's a possible outcome. Yes, trades did play a big role in what happened. They need to do better. But users were also to blame for this, since we all know that using leverage comes with a risk. There is a risk with all kinds of debt. We saw a sell-off like this before, when there was a big wick on the Iran-Israel issue, maybe even a year ago. They sent the first rockets, and there was also a big wick. A lot of people, even 3x, were shut down, right? Things like this do happen. After that, the market went up. That wasn't the end of it. Okay, just keep in mind that things like that are possible. That day, I lost a lot of money. And that taught me a lot about how to do leverage trades from now on. Oh, still, anything could happen. I've had times when I made a lot of money, and times when I lost a lot of money. That's something we need to think about. The market is showing the results of that right now. It was crazy. There are a lot of posts on social media about how XRP dropped to 124. I saw that SUI, I was just taking a look at it. SUI dropped all the way to 56 cents on Bitcoin. When I looked at BitUnix, our partner was only 84 years old. That's cool. But once more, these could be chances now that the market, I don't think it's going to cause another 50% drop like that. Now might be the time to catch the comeback. If you're interested, BitUnix will give you a bonus of up to $500 this week until November 9th. Oops, I meant this month. And if you're interested, the link is in the text below. For the love of God, please trade wisely. With leverage, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of it. Be careful. You should read the user agreement and the terms of service. Keep in mind that when you use this kind of leverage, it's possible that even the biggest websites, like Coinbase and Binance, had problems. The computers did not work. A lot of people are trying to log on at the same time. Did you know that the market makers were failing? Remember that sometimes there are no buyers when there is a buy and a sell order? You need someone to make the market. Someone needs to help you make that trade happen. The market makers fall apart. So there were really only a few single exchanges that were working. These exchanges either had their own market makers or hired a third party to do the work. All of the markets were down during that time though. Also, you should know that when you use swaps, you do so at your own risk. Not your coins or keys, right? That's how things are. Okay, just remember that. And please be smart about how you deal. It will help me out if you use my links. Thanks for that. We also have BTCC and LowFin. For those who are interested, the link is in the text below. Please be careful when you trade and know that using leverage can be very risky as well as very profitable. Okay? There are always scary stories, but there are also big successes in every market. That's the way it is. Okay? Those who can pick themselves up, keep going, and get back on the horse. Oh, those are the people who succeed in the end because they know how to handle problems. How are you going to lose if you can't handle losing $50,000 or $100,000? What are you going to do if the market drops 10% and you lose $1 million? That's pretty rough, right? So you have to look at everything as a chance to learn and build on that. Okay. Ron has an interesting idea or point of view on this. Says that you should not believe that the events of the last 48 hours were by chance. The crypto sell-off began just after the US market closed on Friday, while most of the world was asleep in Asia and Europe. Also, I was asleep. I missed the whole crash. For some reason, all of the oracles gave wrong prices, which led to a wave of liquidations. That's who sets the market. We're sorry, the oracles, the system that makes markets, broke down and weren't making good use of cash. A big exchange had trouble letting users in. People were not able to purchase the dip. Some data sites, including CoinGlass, were hacked for no clear reason, leaving users without any data. This attack was very well planned and carried out. Do you think it could have been Lazarus or North Korea? I don't know, maybe. This is interesting. This seemed like an attack, not just a gist. It was a Greek accident that everything happened this way. It's tough not to believe it. On the other hand, Benjamin has been asking for this for a while now. He also said that Ethereum would drop to $3,600. He also said that altcoins would lose value and Bitcoin would become more popular. He took about a week off. He has talked about this for a long time, though. He now says that he thinks the pair will stay strong for another week or two in September. It was just not right? As I already said, he said that Bitcoin would become more popular in October. These same steps were taken with alts in 2017. Okay. He's also calling. I believe I forgot to bring out the tweet. But he says, the best case scenario for me is Ethereum goes up to new all-time highs. We'll say they were wrong if Bitcoin falls too far below 100,000. He still believes that Ethereum can go up and rally.